Discover Kinshasa, the largest city in Central Africa. Hello, Displorers! Welcome to another exciting video presented to you by Displore, and thanks for watching. In this video, we shall be taking you to the central part of Africa, and we shall be shining the light on the largest city in Central Africa, Kinshasa. Kinshasa is the capital and the largest city of the Democratic Republic of Congo, alongside the Congo River, mostly with the Humbu and Seke as indigenous people. Once a site of fishing and trading villages, Kinshasa is now a megacity with a population of about 7 million. It faces Brazzaville, the capital of the neighboring Republic of Congo, which can be seen in the distance across the wide Congo River, making them the world's second closest pair of capital cities after Rome and Vatican City. Kinshasa is Africa's third largest city and is also the world's largest francophone urban area, with French being the official language while Lingala is used as lingua franca in the streets. If you are new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss any of our videos. History of Kinshasa. The city was colonized as a trading post by Henry Morton Stanley in 1881, named Léopoldville, in honor of King Leopold II of the Belgians, who controlled the Congo Free State, the vast territory that is now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, not as a colony, but as a private property. The post flourished as the first navigable port on the Congo River above Livingstone Falls, a series of rapids over 300 kilometers below Leopoldville. At first, all goods arriving by sea or being sent by sea had to be carried by porters between Leopoldville and Matadi, the port below the rapids and 150 kilometers from the coast. The completion of the Matadi-Kinshasa portage railway in 1898 provided an alternative route around the rapids and sparked the rapid development of Leopoldville. In 1914, a pipeline was installed so crude oil could be transported from Matadi to the upriver streamers in Leopoldville. By 1923, the city was elevated to the capital of the Belgian Congo, replacing the town of Boma in the Congo estuary. The town, nicknamed Leo or Leopold, became a commercial center and grew rapidly during the colonial period. After gaining its independence on the 30th of June 1960, following riots in 1959, the Republic of the Congo elected its first prime minister, Patrice Lumumba. Lumumba's perceived pro-Soviet leanings were viewed as a threat by Western interests. This being the height of the Cold War, the US and Belgium did not want to lose control of the strategic wealth of the Congo, in particular its uranium. Less than a year after Lumumba's election, the Belgians and the US bought the support of his Congolese rivals and set in motion the events that culminated in Lumumba's assassination. In 1965, with the help of the US and Belgium, Joseph Désiré Mobutu seized power in the Congo. He initiated a policy of authenticity, the names of people and places in the country. In 1966, Leopoldville was renamed Kinshasa, for a village named Kinshasa that once stood near the site today Kinshasa. The city grew rapidly under Mobutu, drawing people from across the country who came in search of their fortunes or to escape ethnic strife elsewhere, thus adding to the many ethnicities and languages already found there. In the 1990s, a rebel uprising began, which by 1997 had brought down the regime of Mobutu. Kinshasa suffered greatly from Mobutu's excesses, mass corruption, nepotism, and the civil war that led to his downfall. Nevertheless, it is still a major cultural and intellectual center for Central Africa, with a flourishing community of musicians and artists. It is also the country's major industrial center, processing many of the natural products brought from the interior. The city has recently had to fend off rousing soldiers who are protesting the government's failure to pay them. Geography. Kinshasa is a city of sharp contrast, with affluent residential and commercial areas and 3 universities alongside sprawling slums. The older and wealthier part of the city is located on a flat area of alluvial sand and clay near the river, while many newer areas are found on the eroding red soil of surrounding hills. Older parts of the city were laid out on a geometric pattern, with de facto racial segregation becoming de jure in 1929 as European and African neighborhoods grew closer to each other. City plans of the 1920s and 1950s featured a cordon sanitaire or buffer between the white and black neighborhoods, which included the central market as well as parks and gardens for Europeans. Urban planning in post-independence Kinshasa has not been extensive. The Mission Française d'Urbanisme drew up some plans in the 1960s which envisioned a greater role for automobile transportation, but did not predict the city's significant population growth. Thus, much of the urban structure has developed without guidance from a master plan. According to UN Habitat, the city is expanding by 8 square kilometers per year. It describes many of the new neighborhoods as slums, built in unsafe conditions with inadequate infrastructure. Nevertheless, spontaneously developed areas have in many cases extended the grid street plan of the original city. Economy. Big manufacturing companies such as Marsavco SA, Pack Industries and Angel Cosmetics are located in the center of town in Kinshasa. There are many other industries such as Trust Merchant Bank located in the heart of the city. Food processing is a major industry, and construction and other service industries also play a significant role in the economy. Although home to only 13% of DRC's population, Kinshasa accounts for 85% of the Congolese economy as measured by gross domestic product. A 2004 investigation found 70% of inhabitants employed informally, 17% in the public sector, 9% in the formal private sector, and 3% other, of a total of 976,000 workers. The People's Republic of China has been heavily involved in the Congo since the 1970s, when they financed the construction of the Palais du Peuple and backed the government against rebels in the Shaba War. In 2007 to 2008, China and Congo signed an agreement for an $8.5 billion loan for infrastructure development. Culture. Kinshasa is the home to much of the Congo's intelligentsia, including a political class which developed during the Mobutu era. Kinshasa has a flourishing music scene which since the 1960s has been operating under the patronage of the city's elite. A pop culture ideal type in Kinshasa is the Mikilitsi, a fashionable person with money who has traveled to Europe. Adrian Mombele, aka Stavros Niakos, and musician Papa Wemba were early exemplars of the Mikilitsi style. Lasap, a linked cultural trend also described as dandyism, involves wearing flamboyant clothing. Many Kinois have a negative view of the city, expressing nostalgia for the rural way of life and a stronger association with the Congolese nation than with Kinshasa. Infrastructure and housing. The city's infrastructure for running water and electricity is generally in bad shape, with the electrical network in disrepair to the extent that prolonged and periodic blackouts are normal, and exposed lines sometimes electrify pools of rainwater. Regideso, the national public company with primary responsibility for water supply in the Congo, serves Kinshasa only incompletely, and not with uniformly perfect quality. Other regions are served by the Association des Usagers des Réseaux d'Eau Potable, ASUREPS. The city is estimated to produce 6,300 meters cubed of trash and 1,300 meters cubed of industrial waste per day due to its large population and size as well. The housing market has seen rising prices and rents since the 1980s. Houses and apartments in the central area are expensive, with houses selling for $1 million and apartments going for $5,000 per month. High prices have spread outward from the central area as owners and renters move out of the most expensive part of the city. Gated communities and shopping malls, built with foreign capital and technical expertise, began to appear in 2006. Urban renewal projects have led in some cases to violent conflict and displacement. The high prices leave incoming refugees with few options for settlement besides illegal shanty towns such as Pakajoma. Transport. The Ville province has 5,000 kilometers of roadways, 10% of which are paved with the Boulevard du 30 Juin, linking the main areas of the central district of the city, while the other roads also converge on Gombe. The east-west road network linking the more distant neighborhoods is weak, and thus transit through much of the city is difficult. The quality of roads have improved, somewhat developed in part with loans from China, since 2000. Several companies operate registered taxis and taxi buses, identifiable by their yellow color. The city has two airports, Njili Airport, which serves for international flights, and Ndola Airport, mostly used for domestic flights. There are a few intermittent rail services even though they have a poor safety record. There are no rail links from Kinshasa further inland, and road connections to much of the rest of the country are few and in a poor condition. Climate and demographics. Under the Köppen climate classification, Kinshasa has a tropical wet and dry climate, with lengthy rainy season that spans from October through May, with a relatively short dry season between June and September. According to UN Habitat, 390,000 people immigrate to Kinshasa annually, fleeing warfare and seeking economic opportunity, and unfortunately, many float on the barges down the Congo River. The current population of Kinshasa stands at 14.34 million, and according to a projection in 2016, the population of metropolitan Kinshasa will increase significantly to 35 million by 2050, 58 million by 2075, and 83 million by 2011, making it one of the largest metropolitan areas in the world. As this growth escalates covering the large city, the authorities need to put in place conditions to accommodate this population while mitigating the issues that come with population growth. There you have it, explorers, a discovery of the largest city in Central Africa. Thanks for watching this video, and if you did enjoy the video, do well to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.